Yep.
Welcome to Poop Talk.
Yep. Shit talking is over. Let's talking shit. All right, let's go. Hi, everybody.
Oh
we're
my
back.
god, let's get this crapshoot over with.
Oh god, this is a really shitty intro. As you can tell, we're all very tired, and it is quite early on a Sunday for a lot of us. But
It's
we're
not
back.
though. It's really not though.
Well, it is rather.
For Heather, it is.
To be fair, is not participating in the shit talk. So, anyway,
for this is maybe too much.
So,
you guys were doing a good enough job. I didn't need to add it.
All right. So last time around, you guys got into some combat. After briefly, so let's actually roll back just a little bit to like fully context for a minute. Oh wow, Jay, you're like upside down and
Nope.
Oh
No.
shit! Every
I'm
week
doing
it's
this-
a different camera problem.
So I had to switch to a phone just because my laptop just couldn't do it.
Gotcha.
So
It is
and
not.
I'm pulling up my character sheet, so it's gonna.
Oh, gotcha.
He's
Gotcha.
just
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah. So while he figures that out, I'll just forge ahead. So you guys had flown from Hasper back to Break on your ship, the Tony Hawk. Upon arriving near Break, you found a out of place water elemental cryohydra, and then after a half hour of debate, decided to just banish it back home, which worked. Upon landing outside Break, you were treated as heroes within the city because it was a feast day. The city was full of people. Everything was exciting. Everything was awesome until using some clever true seeing. A few of you guys were able to look through the disguises and realize that the city has been infiltrated by a lot of drow assassins. Realizing that the city was in peril and very close to becoming the next point of mass death that the cult of the Queen of Air and Darkness needs to release her, you all charged ahead, found the fake queen and the fake Jarl and the fake male Jarl, one of which being Heather's brother, Drossel. You were all invited back to the Longhouse. You went in. Sai and Trev went upstairs with the Jarls, and then after getting them settled and speaking to them for a little bit, initiated combat. While downstairs, the other four of you initiated combat with a daylight spell against 8 hidden drow assassins. Phaedra broke off from the party to run upstairs to try and assist those upstairs, leaving Marleman, Nyx, and Armil downstairs. Drossel got away after attempting to port Trev with him somewhere. Trev was able to resist the pull of the odd realm teleportation. You're not entirely sure what was attempted to use against you, but something was that caused him to vanish and leave a rift between the dimensions. Trev sealed said rift, hoping to trap Drossel wherever he had gone, and the 3 charged back downstairs. Meanwhile, downstairs, Armil's the Scorpion was doing well. Nyx was stabbing people, but Marleman was left alone in the center of the room, and the only visible target to 6 of these assassins, besides a giant scorpion. So Marleman got murdered. Then revived.
It was a good time.
Then actually murdered.
And then murdered.
And then revived, and then ice spiked a man to a ceiling. You have all.
I was very mad.
You have all dealt with the 8 assassins downstairs, and we're going to pick up immediately there. So, Marleman, you are still on the ground, drenched in blood, primarily your own blood, and you are all downstairs.
Ow!
I had revived him and then I had cured him. I don't know if
I have 71 of my 105 at this point. I'm milking it.
okay.
Ow!
What the hell happened? We leave you alone for.
My encounter tracker says I got stabbed 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and then was hit with necrotic damage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times.
Wow. You should really not let that happen.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was trying to claw him and everything, but you know.
It was touch and go for a minute, but there's a guy on the ceiling right now.
He points, and there is a drow currently impaled on a very large ice spike in the ceiling through the
ice
center.
is melting. I would not stand underneath it.
Yes,
Yeah, look at that.
I'm a little.
Everyone
Actually,
takes a
I'll
step
give
to
you-
the left.
That's nice. I'll fist bump Marlon for that. I respect
Marlon,
that.
you have your point of exhaustion marked down as well, correct?
I
Just-
do indeed.
Yeah, just want to make sure. So you're
I'm
all
a tired boy.
You are a tired boy. You're all in the main chamber of the longhouse. It is silent. Outside is silent as well. You don't know if there is a sound muffling spell on the longhouse or anything like that. But the city also seems quiet outside the doors.
I think
Um,
that's
Yeah, can we
Sorry.
like heal up our friend first?
just sorry, Gary. Finish what you were saying, and then I'll say what I was going to say.
Nope, go right ahead. That is basically it. I was just continually to contextualize. You guys
Okay.
kind of tell me what you're doing.
I was just gonna say I do think we should explore the room that what's his face left. Obviously, if people need healing, that should be taken care of. But I think that we should, as quickly as possible, do that. As quickly as possible, try and gather any information that we can, and then leave not through the front door, maybe.
I don't know if we have another way out.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I definitely appreciate the sentiment.
We can
We definitely have another way out. Y'all
Yeah.
just
I remember seeing hidden doors last time, or am I getting the session confused?
Nope, that is correct. You saw
Yeah.
at least one hidden passageway in the upper floor.
Okay, I
Let's
saw
maybe
that.
go up and like explore the room, and then explore that hidden passageway if it's deemed safe, and see if maybe we can get a way out of here. That's not.
I mean, I also have.
We obviously just murdered the 8 people in this room.
Like, I can make a circle. Like, we can get out of here that way if we have to.
I mean,
if you really want to avoid going out the front door, we can do that. If we have
I
to.
don't.
Trev, because I know you're keeping track. Yes, all 8 of the identified assassins are. You can spot their bodies in the room comfortably. None of them got away.
Good.
Make sure you check the one up top.
But yeah, for what it's worth, I don't actually think I'm not gonna say that we shouldn't do all of that stuff. I don't think that there's necessarily as much of a concern of the murders we just did being found out by the public or anything like that. They're drow, they're assassins, they hate us. Like, they won't mind more dead drow. Nobody does. But the thing that we need to be concerned about generally, and it's the kind of thing that makes me want to go, after we've done all this information gathering, check out what's going on in town, is that I don't have any way of knowing if Drossel passed orders to all of his embedded assassins before he left.
Do you and Sai maybe want to just, because you guys are kind of like, I can't think of a word for it.
The fake
Known.
I guess, like you've been kind of legitimized by the administration here. If you guys come and go and like check things out, I feel like that's a little. So if you guys want to like,
I don't know.
Sure, that mass murder isn't
We gotta
happening.
stick together.
Yeah, I think that your idea of getting all the information we can from here is a great one. If it's too late to stop that slaughter because Drossel sent some kind of signal, then it already is. There's nothing we can do about that. And yes, I'm very much in support of avoiding some kind of like splitting up or anything like that if we can here.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we're gonna have to have a talk about some military tactics later. We'll do that, but for now, let's go with all of Nix's plan. Is pretty much exactly what I'm here for it. So let's go.
All right.
It wasn't that bad. Coming from the man who died twice, it wasn't that bad.
So
You're a good sport.
you all gather up. Sai, just so you know, and just so we don't have to circle back on this, you can spot all 8 death lances. All of them have been expended of all necrotic energy.
And those can't be recharged, right?
Correct. They are just they are gone.
Okay.
I mean, the blades are still there, and they are still like nice long swords, but they are
boring longsword.
Yeah.
I'll leave them for now.
Who needs a touch-up of healing, by the way?
I'm actually fine right now.
I'm
should
honestly
do
fine.
Both of us,
I think I'm fine.
because there were a couple big heals that we did, and so a little.
I'm
bit.
at 71 of my 105. Like, I'm okay if nobody else needs heals.
I feel like we should top you off
So-
we don't know if we're about to walk into an ambush.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'll do that for you. I know.
Oh, you're gonna lay on hands.
So are you okay?
No. Gonna, what's it called? Cure wounds from my sword.
Oh, nice.
Sheath, from the sheath, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Uh,
So yeah, roll that away.
Cure wounds at level 2.
And Sai, what are your hit points at? Are you all right?
I got myself back up. I'm fine.
Okay. All right. I guess I'm the only one left then. I'll cure myself.
Okay.
Parliament's gonna
Well,
need
cure-
more than
yeah.
a level 2 cure wounds. He needs
That's
he
What?
needs like
that should be fine.
40 points or something.
30.
Well, so while you guys figure out healing stuff, because I can promise you it's not going to jump off into an ambush immediately. So you guys do
Yeah,
have
like,
at
I'm not-
least
I'm not
a
worried right
second
now.
to figure that out. You all make your way upstairs and begin to toss the 3 chambers. Who is going into which chamber? Just to remind you, there is the map room to the left that Trev and Sai have been in before, a closed door room to the right that no one has been in yet, and then the long, bedroom meeting chamber of the Jarls, where there is a body. There is currently a dead drow soldier on the ground as well.
Know that Nyx is looking at the locked door and going like,
Nice.
And,
Challenge accepted.
and those
I
are
know that.
the only doors. There's not a hidden door, or did I just remember?
So there is a hidden door inside the bedroom chamber. It is on the far side to the right of one of the large bed at the end.
Okay, I guess I'll go in the bedroom and investigate there first. Then I guess.
Okay. Everyone roll a general investigation check except for Nyx. Nyx, if you
Also-
want to unlock that door, roll a lockpicking check for me.
Also, what was I healed for? Was I healed for anything yet?
I'm figuring that out now.
can I check for traps before I start?
Yeah, roll a investigation.
Can you go to my page?
In a second.
Meanwhile, I'm just hanging out behind the buff people.
This is walking like one step behind Trev at all times, just like nope.
This is going to be that
Nope.
game where it's
Nope.
like everybody is
Nope.
walking around one person and I'm just in the middle. Just
I'm okay with that.
kind of cold, just like.
Mhm.
And Marlon, you do have like, even though you've been healed up and like are alive.
I don't feel
and-
good. I'm probably
Yeah,
still
like, you
coughing
just-
up black shit and like
Yeah, like the necrotic energy just doesn't feel good.
Before I go and split up, I'm gonna cast Death Ward on Marleman.
Okay. Okay. You do so. What was the investigation next?
12.
12. No traps on that door.
All right.
I was gonna say I wanted to go with Nyx too, so can I count mine towards that door?
Nope. That's not how check for traps works.
You don't have the expertise that she does in trap checking.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I
go
don't-
ahead and roll.
So here's
Roll
the
a
thing.
lockpick.
Investigation is not a proficiency for me, Gary.
Because it's check for traps, you add your proficiency to it.
I don't.
Proficiency.
It's part of your lockpicking tools.
So even though it's okay, so even though my investigation is plus
Yeah.
3, I would do my proficiency bonus to it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's why I was a little.
yeah.
confused.
Specifically when trap checking, because you
Okay,
took
so
it
then
out.
it's.
God, I don't know why, but
19
that
or
phrase,
something.
No.
that
I
phrase is
said
just so
12,
perfect
so
sounding.
that makes it
16.
14. It makes it 14 because I added 3 before. The difference between 3 and 5 is 2.
It's
I
it's
think
No,
plus
it's
3
it's
plus
plus 3
5,
plus your plus
so
5.
it's 17.
Oh, you mean it's both?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
additive.
Oh,
So-
so then I.
So
okay.
like when you lockpick,
So yes,
it's your because you have expertise in lockpicking, it is the D20 plus your proficiency twice plus your sleight of hand. So you add plus 10 to your lockpicking. Just remember that.
And then
Yeah, well, my sleight of hand is like marked as that. So,
Okay.
but
yeah,
my,
yeah,
but
no problem.
my
No problem.
investigation being separate from my lockpicking,
yeah,
I
Yeah.
didn't.
it's odd.
Yeah. So your check for traps on the door. The door is definitely trapped,
Okay.
and can with a 17, you're able to finagle it and break the thing, and are able to realize that it was definitely a poison dart that would have come shooting out of the lock into you, and are able to.
About that check. So if that technically is a proficiency, that has my reliable talent then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it was technically an 18. Doesn't make a difference, but
You needed a 16 to find the trap.
yeah,
You did.
I think getting the 17 is fine. But just to make
Yeah.
sure that I remember.
So then go ahead and roll lockpicking.
30.
Okay, that. You need to like finagle it just a little bit to get around the dart, even though the dart has been like deactivated. It's still in there, so you need to like be kind of careful and just sort of do that.
You looked at it and it disarmed. You're done. That's
after like 15 seconds at most. And it's funny because you actually say to Armel, "Oh, this is gonna be a tricky one," and then just boop,
pop. Yeah.
Door opens. Behind it is immediately you are greeted with two things. One, because you're an arcane trickster rogue, you definitely can feel a ward break. You can feel a magic effect end the moment the door swings open. And two, there is a bed in here with two very decayed corpses on it.
Just
that? Basically just goop and bones at this
Does
point.
anybody else smell that?
And this,
we all smell that.
when that ward breaks, the smell of death just comes pouring out of that room.
Can you?
And it is bad.
I don't know where it came from, so help me.
I think you need to definitely should
Can
be
you
asking.
prestidigitate that smell away, or is that
I absolutely can. No, I don't know if I can prestidigitate it away, but I can make better smells.
okay?
I do that.
Okay.
I do that, and then I cast. I do that, and then I cast gust, and I'm blowing the shit out the door.
The problem is that there's no window in that chamber, so as you gust into it, it all just out the door into your face. Just
I figured I was in there also. And
you are, and it's like still bad, but now it's like bad mixed with wind, so now it's being pressurized into you.
Okay.
It's like opening up like a pressurized fucking like dumpster. It is
okay.
It is bad, but you diffuse the smell throughout the entirety of the top floor of the longhouse.
This is going great, guys.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Your eyes are watering. Nyx is vomiting slightly on the floor.
I was gonna say, like, where's the con saves? How come we're not all vomiting on the floor right now?
Because some of you are more used to this, but because of the way the smell or the way the magic worked, it wasn't dissipating the smell, it was just containing it completely. So it is just a lot of bacteria smell that has built up over very clearly months and months and
it's just a pressure cooker of just
death. You're gonna make Morgan get sick. Stop.
Morgan
Morgan the Marleman is gonna get sick.
But yes, so there are two bodies on the bed in here that are very decayed and are basically just slop.
Gross.
Okay.
What would you like to do with that information?
On a quick look, do we see anything? Because I'm not hanging out in here.
You could tell that both bodies are female, and that one is relatively richly dressed, but that's about it.
Okay.
They're both female?
Female.
Yes. I'm leaving.
Are there any
Caramel. I'm out.
Or anything left on the other one to tell if it was like a servant or like...
It looks like they were probably a serving girl or an attendant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any like other traps or hidden doors or?
Nope, no other traps in the room. It looks like these two were stacked in here. The trap was set on the door, the magic was sealed up, and then this room has just sat. You could tell that it was a guest chamber, or something for visiting dignitaries. So it is like a relatively lavish room, but it is, significantly smaller. It is a side chamber.
Are there any is there any clothing or anything with any patches or emblems or anything that would be identifying?
Roll an investigation check with disadvantage.
Can I give him not disadvantage?
Yes, because two of you are doing it, but both of you are attempting to not vomit while you're doing this.
Look for any signs of identification.
Yeah. So no disadvantage, just straight roll.
Oh, then it's a 13 plus 2, I believe.
Okay. Yes. And you recognize the robes, the fallen out hair. It looks like a being similar to what Drossel was pretending the female Jarl looked like. Just by the identifying factors.
Can confirm. Check.
Yeah, that's about what I figured.
Is there anything that we could
like a desk with mail that I could?
Not in here, but probably in the main chamber, definitely.
The male Jarl's Jarl mail.
There's no sign of the male Jarl in here.
Yeah. Okay. If there seems to be nothing else I can open or check, then I will tightly shut that door.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you
And then
walk
just
back in the main chamber where everyone else is just sort of looking at you.
I went into the bedroom.
Yeah.
I look a little peckish, I assume, and I
Yeah.
let them know that we found the body of the female Jarl, but not the male Jarl.
So, for the main bedroom chamber investigation checks, I know Sai and Trev are investigating something different from Phaedra. So, Trev or Sai, one of you take advantage on the investigation roll. Phaedra, you just have a straight roll.
You can, Trev.
Okay.
I was about to say. I was going to say the same to you because I'm
Oh.
very likely distracted.
That's fine. I'll take it then.
If we're searching the room that dude disappeared from, there's no way that he's going to be able to convince himself fully that he can't reappear at a moment's notice.
Yeah, Trev, you're
Yeah,
I'm on guard. And you...
Wait,
Keep it sorted out.
can I I'll rejoin that after taking a little breather probably, but I just want to for the record remind that I have blind sense, which means that if I can hear, nothing can hide within 10 feet of me.
There is nothing hiding in the room.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I also have true sight on, so if he's like invisible, I'd be able to see him too.
And there definitely is nothing... You can see a weird haze still where the rift was.
Yeah.
But you know, besides that, nothing particularly hidden. All right, so Phaedra, what do you get for your investigation?
Modified 20.
Nice. Sai.
12.
12. Okay, we'll start with the easy one first. Wait, you 12 with advantage?
Yep.
Oh,
Plus 0, baby.
Oh,
you poor fucker. Okay, we'll start with there. You and Trev still somewhat on guard. Toss the desks. You know, there are the two desks on either side of the room, and search them for letters, relevant information, anything like that. Eventually, Nyx comes and joins you. So Nyx, you can roll your own investigation on that.
Okay.
But you guys don't find much immediately. There are traditional diplomatic letters, things that it's all very above board. Like there's nothing that jumps out as not something that's not supposed to be there. Nyx, what'd you get?
Just straight investigation, right?
Just straight investigation plus your modifier, and that's it.
Yeah, 13.
13. Same idea. You don't find anything in the desks. Everything seems pretty kosher, honestly. Phaedra, with your modified 20, you are investigating the invisible things and the things that only you can see right now. You spot two things. One, you find that one of the walls to the left of the bedchamber is certainly hiding a passageway.
Mm-hmm.
And after looking at it and looking at the wall in two ways, it's very weird with True Sight because you're both looking through this wall, but also seeing the wall. Like you could also see the wall. But you're able to like look through the mechanisms and literally just find it and click it and turn it, and the wall kind of spins open to reveal a stairway that goes down within the stonework.
Okay.
The other thing you spot, especially with a modified 20, is as you like turn to go, "Hey guys, it worked," and like let them know that you now found this stairway. Looking at the desks, you can see on one side of one of the desks a chamber that can open up sideways. Of some kind.
Okay.
You walk over to the desk, and after looking at it for a couple of seconds, are able to spot the mechanism to open it. You press the button that all three of them had missed, and the side swings open to reveal two diaries. One bound in blue, what's called like a crushed velvet almost. And one in a similar velvet, but in a green color.
Okay. Do I see anything immediately about it with my true sight? Is there anything about it that's
Just diaries, not magical.
okay? I'll open up the blue one first.
Okay. Pardon me. Inside the blue diary, you kind of flip through it, and this is clearly the female Jarl's diary. Just via sense of the handwriting and some of the things that's being talked about. You learn a couple of things just flipping through really quickly, some of which Sai knew, but some that is even new information to Sai. One, she is not the bloodline. The male Jarl is the bloodline. That information is always kept incredibly secret within the city, so that way, if one Jarl is removed, the bloodline can continue on without... It's hard to... Unless you're targeting both at the same time, you can't target one and then the other, because you'll never know if you're actually cutting off the bloodline, and that is, in Brachian society, the most important thing to the line of succession.
Okay.
Two, well, she was not the bloodline and he was. You learn that she had received a new attendant over the past year and a half, around the same time that her husband took ill. And towards the last couple of paragraphs, which seems to end maybe a year ago or so, that she was beginning to not trust this attendant before it stops.
All right. And then I'll open the other one.
The other one is even shorter. It doesn't seem like the male Jarl was hard to tell right now, a particularly verbose writer. So it's all very blunt, very simple paragraphs about day-to-day activities, some growing up. He makes mention a couple of times of the fact that he is highly encouraged by society to keep a journal and keep a diary, and that he does not seem to particularly enjoy it. He doesn't seem like a guy you'd get along with particularly well, Phaedra. Not the smartest. You do learn that very early on he was proven to be infertile, which is why there is no current child. And that he has been, over the past couple of years, going through various magical treatments to try and correct that problem. And the very last entry, dated about 2 years ago, is of a new idea and a new project that he has been alerted to that may be able to grant him the ability to sire children. But that's the last entry.
Okay. And there's no... Can I, like, try and see if anything's coded in it?
Make a straight intelligence check.
Okay. Check. 14.
You're not a code master. You're not a spy.
Okay.
You know, and you've definitely seen things in code before, but nothing that doesn't have a cipher,
Right.
kind of associated with it. So it could be coded, but it's hard for you to tell, really.
Okay.
Would my Thieves Can't ability pick up anything on that?
Not written in Thieves Can't. Just it's,
I assume invisible ink would also be picked up by True Sight, correct?
yes, and no invisible ink or anything like that.
Okay. I'll show them to the... I'll go to Nyx first, because I would have assumed she would have been the other person who could have helped me decode this.
But you're just suspecting there's a code, right?
I don't know. I've heard of, like, you know, people writing encoded messages, and, you know, if they're, like, big important figureheads, you know. I don't know. I mean, it's already hidden, so...
It is hidden, and, like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know I don't know who the, like, Jarl actually was to know if this is, like, in character for him, or, like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. Assuming, you know, based on the writing that he wasn't actually that bright, like, I don't know. Was he actually not that bright? I don't really know what he was like.
Sai, you've lived here. You know the public perception of the male Jarl to a certain extent. You know that he is well respected, but not highly honored or renowned, let's say.
Okay.
So maybe this is genuine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe this just really is what he was like.
Sometimes
that
things
like
are what they seem.
Yeah, and
like
a simple way is like
keep journals. More of a
probably.
Hey,
I suppose.
Hey, Sai, since you lived here,
Yo.
if something unfortunate were to happen to the Jarl and Lady Jarl, who would be the next in charge?
That is a good question. And let me tell you, Gary,
You have no idea. It's
I
not
have
information
no
that's
idea.
shared. It's not like Brachian society is very much built around the idea that there is always a line of succession.
They have no emergency contingency plans. What the heck?
Well,
I mean,
so the line of it's all based around. It has to do with the god of the city, right? Like,
Mhm.
yeah. So, what do I know about that? Like, how that interacts with?
Who's the god of the city?
The Allhammer.
Oh, okay.
You know that the rulers of Break are said to be directly blessed by the Allhammer. That they are special individuals who were picked out generations ago to carry through his will. So while it's not direct,
Oh, that might be why we can't find the male Jarl.
yes, I'll just go from there. That so it's all very much. It's a what is that called? A religious monarchy, or basically.
Yeah, it's something divine.
Yeah,
Theocracy, but
a little. It's a little bit theocracy, but it's not. It's not the high priest who is ruling society. It just so happens that the Jarls are also treated as the high priests of the Allhammer.
This ruling family chosen by God, or at least so somebody says.
Exactly that.
Yeah,
fucking pharaoh.
yeah. I forget what the it's something divine legacy something. I cannot remember.
Yes, but
Some kind of dumb bullshit.
exactly. Some bullshit that I'm glad no longer exists. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Look at sadly at American society. So yes. So it is because of that fact. That is why the line of succession is both never truly published, or like what the what contingency plans exist, because the idea of one of the blessed of the Allfather being removed in some way is also just a completely foreign and kind of crazy idea for them.
Hey, Sai.
Yo,
Do your chicken friend know any really, really good forgers?
I am positive he does.
Because
but
I mean, I
last
have a
remember
feeling that if you could like generate some kind of family, like some kind of papers that make it look like somebody's in a Jarl's family, there's some really sick royalty up for grabs.
maybe let's not.
I'm just saying that might be a thing he might want to try. Like,
I'm tempted. I
the
am very
idea of
tempted.
this city being run by a chicken man entertains me to no end.
So if
Somebody's been playing too much Crusader Kings recently. My first thought is like, yeah, let's just fabricate a claim and just
Also, for as much as
press
I
that
love
claim.
man,
That's ours now.
I would not put him in charge of a city or a nation.
Yeah,
I love him to death, but holy shit, this place would burn.
so
Bok.
if there's this like divine right of kings, I think is the term. Whatever.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Henry V. If they believe that they've been blessed by a god or something, or like there's some sort of divine legacy or whatever, maybe they need him for something, and that's why we haven't found a body yet.
That's also what I'm thinking.
And I don't know if there's some sort of connection to a god, and the god is not on this plane. Is he the catalyst for the breaking of the planes?
No.
No.
What?
Well, I
You
don't know.
already know stuff about this?
I don't
You
know.
don't really have enough information.
I don't know how they're doing this like weird ritual thing, so I didn't know if they needed like, a connection to the other planes or something, you know.
I think you might be reaching a little bit more than we need to, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just sort of like theorizing.
Yep. So what do you guys want to do with the stairway? Unless you don't want to go down right now and want to deal with other stuff and return to that. It's up to you.
There was the bedroom, there was the room with the corpses, and there was another room?
There's a map room that Cy and Trev have been in before, and they can probably tell you everything about the room. It's a relatively small room with a very large table with a map of the realm on it.
Got it.
It is very clearly a war chamber.
Okay. Well, I found this hidden passage. So, I want to check it out.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You all kind of crowd. It is a tight stairway, and a very tight spiral as well. So even looking down it, you can get vertigo. Even standing from the top and looking down, you can tell that it goes a distance. It's definitely not going to stop at the first floor. It's going to keep going down for a while.
Okay.
So you all begin to descend. You walk down this staircase for an hour, maybe even a little bit longer than that. It is a long way down. Before suddenly, who's leading? Who's in front?
I mean, my passive perception's pretty good, and I probably fit the best.
I was going to say I'm towards the front because I've got true sight, so I can see if anything will come back.
Too.
Your true sight turns off halfway through, by the way.
Oh.
Not magically, just because true sight runs out after an hour.
Oh, right, yeah. I forgot we were going for that long.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, as soon as that goes out, I'll be like, okay, next switch with me.
Okay.
Yeah, my passive perception's 19, and I am tiny, so I guess I can go first.
It is also dark. There are no lights.
I
Yeah, I know. Just letting you know for the human who does not have dark vision and needs to hold on to the back of somebody so he doesn't trip on his own feet.
Marleman's hand.
Marleman. Grab on, buddy.
After about an hour, you start to see light begin, just a faint bit of light begin to creep from below you. And Nyx, when you step down, it is a small doorway that leads into a massive chamber. So long that even in this dark light, you actually can't even see the other side. What you do see are the walls are maybe 30 feet to either side of you. So you can see that it is constructed similarly to the longhouse, not very wide, but quite long. And built into the walls are these gigantic statues of humans wearing various looks like armor of different time periods. The ones closest to you, the ones that you can see on either side, are ancient. The stone is degrading. They're kind of not moss covered. There's not a lot of moisture down here, but the stone is beginning to kind of pockmark and wear. And in front of them are, on either side, the one to the left is male, the one to the right is female. And in front of them are these vaults, these marble vaults that have been built into the ground. And looking a little bit past them, you can see another set of two statues and marble vaults, another set of two statues and marble vaults. You seem to have found your way into the tombs of the fallen Jarls.
Okay.
All right.
Am I the only one that can see this?
You move out of the way of the doorway so everyone else doesn't like trip over you on these very steep stairs, and you all kind of congregate.
Okay.
So we all see this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, someone tell Marlon. But yeah. Well, you said there was some light.
So there's some light because in between each of the
I just
vaults,
realized I was muted. Yeah.
in between each of the vaults, there is a torch, an ever-burning torch of orange in between each.
All
vault.
right, so I can see.
It's not bright light.
No, but I'm not blind. Yeah, that's my point. Is
Yeah.
I could.
The chamber is about 100 feet tall, as well. So it is a large chamber.
Yeah, it is a very big chamber.
It is.
So, okay, and this was off of the bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay, so off of the bedroom in the longhouse, there's this incredibly large tomb.
But it's under by like.
But it's under, yeah.
Like a long ass way.
Under, but
Were we just going straight down the whole time, or?
Mm-hmm. Just
Okay.
straight down.
Oh boy.
Spiral too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
interesting. How far?
Can I just like speak loudly, not like shout, but just say like hello?
Hello, hello, hello,
Yeah.
hello. It's not a heavy echo. It's definitely it's a large enough chamber for it to echo, but it's not going forever. There definitely is a wall that's just a distance away.
Is there any response?
No.
Yeah.
So like we can see the end of the room.
At your current position, you can see that there are at least 10 lit torches. And then just beyond those torches, it's harder to make out. But it doesn't look like on the 10th set of torches, it looks like it keeps going.
Okay.
That's weird.
I mean, it's. I don't find it that weird. This just is. If their jarls are like gods, this is their burial ground. Like,
could I guess it's too late to ask. Did it look like this had been opened recently?
There is no dust on the floor. There is no, but you're not sure if that is maintenance or just part of. Yeah, you don't know if it's magic. You don't know if it's maintenance, and you don't know if it's just so deep underground that there's just no dust.
Okay.
I mean, I'd be, we're down here. We walk down here, so like I would want to take a little time to explore, but I'm not convinced that it has anything but dead jarl bodies.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in anything about this room other than a potential exit out the other side into town.
Yeah. So maybe
literally all I care about.
Okay. You kind of make your way through the chamber a bit. You very quickly, or not very quickly, it's about 300 feet or so to the last line of torches. But reaching there and now peering into the darkness, you can see another 400 feet ahead of you is the other wall. It was just hard to make out because of the light line. It kind of fucks with your dark vision a little bit. But there is the wall. It is a chamber. It is a very large chamber, but it is a walled-in chamber. Okay. You do see a door on the other side, but it is definitely a door that is not leading up. Just by its placement and the way that it's there, you could tell that it's going either elsewhere or deeper underground.
All right.
So
that door is closed and sealed as well, and there's no visible handles on it.
What are the odds that Drossel was messing with something down here that was important?
I mean, this is under the city, so it's possible.
I
think how the drow got in.
Oh yeah.
I think that my answer to that is going to be the same as my answer to a lot of other similar questions we ask, which is that the chances of that are pretty much incalculable because we have no way of knowing. Like, I don't think he needs. I don't think that there's anything that, like, if this helps. I don't know. Like, I'm not a speculator like you guys are, but like, if this helps, I don't think that what we know he was trying to do. I don't think he needs anything we're not already aware of to have done.
Yeah.
Like, there's a teleportation circle in the city. All the people obviously already fell for the glamour stuff. Like, there's literally nothing. We don't need any more pieces to understand what he was doing. Unless, like, there's a complete, like, it is possible. You are always right. It is possible there's a giant space unicorn or some shit that is also involved that we don't know about yet. But for the plan that we're aware of, I don't think we need any more factors yet.
Well, I meant more for, like, is there something specific, like a magic circle of some sort, or like a focus point he needs for all the death and all the bloodshed to be gathered or aggregated or something?
We don't know because at this point we've only seen the aftermath of it, right? Like, or
yep. You've seen the ritual in progress, of course, but it's been a lot of aftermath. I'm trying to figure out who this would actually be. Who has the highest wisdom?
I think we said that's. No, I'm the opposite.
Check
Intelligence is what I have.
It's probably either Armel or me.
Just like straight wisdom, like modifier, or
just straight wisdom modifier. Yeah.
I have a +4.
Is that in the skill?
He's a role player character better.
Wisdom's not a skill, I don't think. No.
Yeah, it's just one of your stats is wisdom.
Yeah. Ryan.
I have 20 wisdom on mine.
Yeah.
So Ryan has
Yeah, I was
plus
gonna
5.
say Aramil is certainly a very wise guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aramil, standing in the chamber and kind of looking around and just like getting a feel for everything and whatnot, you have a pretty good natural sense of direction as well. And yes, you guys are very easily able to tell that, this is just under the city. Like it's, the staircase didn't move. You are just directly under the city, just very deep. But you're able to tell just by the direction of the chamber and where that door is on the other side that this chamber is built directly south. That, almost cardinally south. Do with that information as you will, but you now know that this chamber is oriented almost cardinally north and south.
Can I tell which? I'm sure, but which way was the longhouse pointing? Is it the same direction?
That was also cardinal north and south.
Okay. And is this longer than the longhouse? I can't
Significantly.
remember. Okay. So
to the point that so Break as a city is oriented very kind of cardinally. The longhouse points directly at the main gates of the city. So there's just one linear path that goes from the main gates of the city that goes directly straight up to the longhouse. It's called the Parade Road. You guys have walked on it a couple of times. Right. It is not the only gates into the city. When you arrived in this one, you actually came from the eastern gate. But the main gates is just a perfect line. This chamber is large enough to probably get you almost to the gates of the city, if not just a couple of feet short.
Right. So, guys, I'm thinking that this door this might lead us, if we go through this door, this might lead us out the south gate of the city. Because we're, pointing in that direction, and we're likely close to already out of the city, based on how large this chamber is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not sure if we want to leave the city, or if we want to continue on this path. Just know that that's where we're likely headed.
Okay.
So,
I think, we weren't quite ready to leave the city.
I mean, we quite literally have to oversee a regime change before we can do that.
Oof.
So now we know this is here, and we know this most likely leads out the south entrance. But I think we should go back now if there's nothing else.
Yeah.
To gain from this tomb.
Yeah.
Well, if you wanted us to leave not through the front door of the longhouse, this is a way to theoretically do that.
Yeah,
right. But I mean, is there any benefit to not going through the front door?
I mean, if we're really not concerned that people will be angry at us for wanton murder, then
I mean, tell them what's happening.
We're not quite done preventing more wanton murder yet.
Yeah.
That's also the problem. Drossel could show back up and kick this party off at any time.
Yeah.
We need to see to that.
I guess whatever's fastest. Is it fastest to just exit this way while we're here, or to go back?
Because that'll be another hour going back.
Yeah. Theoretically.
I will remind of the first thing that I had said, which is it's clear that this door does not lead up. It either leads further. It either leads further
it's
or
very
down.
likely some wild.
It'll take an hour anyway.
Okay.
Let's just go back to the longhouse. Bust out the door.
Okay. You all make your way back up. What's up, Trev?
Or just walk out the door. We don't have to bust anything.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
You make your way back up. Nothing has changed inside the longhouse in the 2 hours you've been gone. No one has.
Has the smell dissipated a bit?
If by dissipated you mean infiltrated all corners, yes.
Great.
But it's weaker because it's now everywhere.
Great.
But
somehow not better.
No. And
Open
you
the
guys
gates, air this place out a bit.
Yeah, you guys make your way downstairs. The front door is still shut, or the front gates to the city are still shut. Nothing has changed at all.
So it was shut by the what's that called? Gatekeepers?
Yeah, soldiers
right?
soldiers on the other side.
Yeah, can we knock? Get their attention to open the door?
We saw that they were human.
Yes, you saw that all of the guards in the area were still human.
Yes, they were in fact just gatekeepers.
So as you approach, and then just sort of rap on the door, you do.
Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
Before we go outside, just to double check, I want to throw on a true sight again, but this time using one of my spell slots, not the tattoo.
Okay. You have true sight back on.
Just
you rap on the door, and there's like a brief pause, and then you just hear as the gate just like starts to grind, or the doors start to grind back open, revealing just a regular soldier who's standing there. Is like, yes, how can we? And is just very clearly looking at the six of you, looking at the blood-soaked sorcerer, just drenched in his own blood, and like trying to look past you because something very clearly has gone on.
Yeah. Also, it stinks.
Also, it stinks.
We're outside.
It hasn't carried this far yet.
Yeah.
He farted. That's why he started.
It's also why he's covered in blood.
Yes. Oh no! Oh no!
I don't like
And here we are.
So I might nudge Marleman and be like, maybe prestidigitate some clean clothes so we can.
I do that.
Okay.
I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that.
You can prestidigitate yourself clean.
Like in a
Oh, then I absolutely do that. That does not feel like that's a part of prestidigitation to me, but
it is.
You can clean a small area.
Okay, I clean myself up.
Okay.
I take a brief respite and walk away.
The guard
sigh to
still...
myself because I'm a smelly bastard, and then I clean myself.
You sigh to yourself, clean yourself, as this guard is still just like looking at you guys, and like it's turning from like mild confusion to panic in his face. He's very clearly like on the edge of about to go run and get help because he doesn't know what's happening.
So I'll step up to him. There is the council of nobles that Duckington was part of, right?
Previously, yes.
Okay. And they were disbanded, or?
Yes, heavily disbanded.
Okay. So I'm going to step up to him and using the, officer rank that we were given for this thing, ask him what his name is.
But my name is George.
Listen, George, you need to get some of your compatriots, and you need to assemble every member of the Council of Nobles that was previously here, because there's a lot that needs to happen in this city right now, and it's in your hands. Can we count on you?
But sir, it's a feast day. It's going to be
George. Do it.
Oh, okay. We'll do what we can. He kind of turns to look.
And be discreet, please.
Yes.
Looks at you. Looks at Trev. Where's the Jarls?
There are many goings on in this city right now that are extremely sensitive and are very dangerous. We need you to be very careful, but what Sai ordered is just what needs to be done right now for the safety of everybody in this city.
Either Sai or Trev make a intimidation check or persuasion check with advantage. Up to you who does it and which one.
I would like to have the advantage, if you don't mind. Persuasion's a very...
Or intimidation.
What is intimidation? A strength mod?
It can be.
Yeah.
If I'm allowed to do that, then I would.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if that's the case, then I would possibly just give Trev advantage on an intimidation check.
You can't have double advantage, right?
I also don't need advantage, probably.
All right, that's fair. So I got a 21.
Okay.
Y'all are
Okay.
both beef boys.
It's kind of my
I love
thing.
it.
I got a 26.
Ooh.
Hella
Fuck you
intimidation.
too.
Okay. He immediately is like, "Oh, yes, sirs. We'll be as quiet as we can." And whoop, goes and grabs some of the other gatesmen who, he first orders them to like open up the main gates as well. There's that short ground in between the doors of the longhouse and the gates to kind of the area. Those begin to open as well. And you can see out into the city as that begins to open. They scatter somewhat discreetly. Very clearly, there's concern, but it is 2 military ranking officers who are telling them to go and do something. You guys are recognized in this city at this point. And you were just very previously honored by the Jarls by being invited into the Longhouse for a meeting. So they know that you're like legit at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just concern. There's a certain level of concern. As you look out, True seeing Phaedra, you can see that there are still glamored drow about.
Yeah.
And as they see, there are a couple of them immediately outside the gate. As they see you guys, okay. As they see you guys standing there with no sign of the Jarls, you can see 2 of them right by the outside gates begin to whisper to each other and then turn and dimension door out.
God damn it.
You could see them, but here's the thing. You could see them break glamour, reveal themselves as drow, because in order to cast the spell, they have to break glamour.
Right.
And so almost
close
immediately
are they to
they are identified. They're like 200 feet away. They're down the road some.
Too far for me to counterspell.
Probably.
Okay.
But you trying to think of the best way to describe what's about to happen without just telling you, like from a bird's eye view.
Mm-hmm.
They both flip out. You guys that are very familiar with Dimension Door can tell that they go in different directions as well. They do not go to the same place. And they're very clearly going to spread a signal of some kind or whatnot. But as you all go to react, to either charge out into the city, to warn somebody, to let someone know that bad shit is about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All of you are fairly magically inclined at this point, and large amounts of magic you can definitely feel, especially when a lot of magic is used in a very short area.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell that a lot of magic all of a sudden happens at once, and a lot of very familiar magic happens all at once as a lot of people leave.
Oh. Oh, crap.
Like people, not glamour drows.
As in, like, a large presence of people either dim door or teleport out of the city.
Shit.
Yeah, and my question was, were they citizens of Break or were they assassin people?
As you know, all of the magic-using citizens of Break have been bundled up and brought somewhere else.
Yeah.
So really the only people who are left in the city who can use magic are probably glamored drow.
That's what I thought.
Wonderful.
We could also just pass through the same path we took last time and just see if we see them around.
It is now empty. There is panic in the streets now as many drow just revealed themselves and then vanished to people.
Like, are we...
Question.
Percentage of population disappearing here. What are we...
Like 75% of the population of the city just vanished. Because the city was relatively empty anyway, and a lot of farmers and outside villagers came into the city for the feast day.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Remember, yeah, like this is going to look more like it used to than we came here before.
Correct.
We probably find that ritual circle thing, right? Who's we were looking for?
Something I'm curious on. When we were going through the first time, we first started seeing the drow people. There were also carts that were giving off a resonance of magic. Did we ever investigate those?
Didn't have time. You guys kind of charged through.
Are they still around?
There are a couple of them still around, yeah.
Can I go up to one and see what it is?
Mobile teleportation circles. embedded.
What?
Yep. They are teleportation circles that have been carved into the wood of these trucks, and
Why haven't I thought of this?
because they're ninth level spells. You have to make a teleportation circle that can change as it moves to different locations.
Oh, Lord.
Can I
Is that a thing that
one of these?
my
take one.
forces? Yeah, we're taking this.
yeah.
This is
Grand Theft Cardo, one of these
Yeah.
things.
yeah.
Can I actually do bird's eye view? Because if I know about Demdor, and if I'm assuming that they
Dimension
Dim
door is fine.
Dimension door.
if they fucked off in a door,
Yep.
they couldn't have gone that far, right?
Correct.
They could only go 500 feet or whatever. So can I
300.
become a hawk? Let me make sure or something.
Look with your.
I want to get a bird's eye view is my idea.
Yeah. You become a hawk and fly through, and make a hawk's perception check.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna.
Your boy looks around, says those things, and all of a sudden just scraw! He's gone.
Sees a chicken and immediately goes after it.
Yeah.
It's like a mouse on the. Oh no, actually, all the rats in the city have been
I
eaten.
know.
Um,
Keen sight. I have advantage on perception checks that rely on sight.
that is correct. That's
Well, his perception plus. I'm doing perception, right?
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. It is 17.
You spot as you fly up into the air and are trying to look around. You do actually spot one final pod of drow, and you actually recognize one of them as one of the dudes who dim-doored away from the front gate as you guys came out. They are briefly crowded around one of these carts, and you see one of the drow in the circle activate the cart, and all of them away. It seems that there was a lot of dim-dooring in the city to these carts if they were a distance away, and then teleportation circling the fuck out of there.
Nice.
Um,
Well, I'm gonna fly back
It was a
down.
reverse flash mob. Oh God.
yeah. Imagine being a citizen on that street, by the way, as a bunch of drow just suddenly appear and then disappear again.
It's a little bit like what was that show on HBO? The
I
The
know
Last
what
of
you're
Us.
talking about, but don't know the name.
Yeah, I forget.
The leftovers.
The leftovers.
The
Yeah, we're all of a
Sopranos.
sudden gone.
Yeah.
So I'll fly back and then turn into Armil again. And can I ask the question to my more magically inclined friend? Well, I just saw a bunch of people take one of these carts to who the fuck knows where. Can we just hop on one and peace out?
That seems like maybe not the best plan.
You mean like
We
Like-
probably could, but yeah, I'm with Nick.
Follow
Like,
them
that's
with the
very
teleport?
dangerous.
Yes.
Follow the army of drow.
No, I don't want to do that, dude. That was a lot of dudes. I have died twice today. I am not looking to die a third time.
In theory, I'm sure we could follow them, but that does not seem.
You know what?
Marlon-
Actually,
Marlon,
in relation to
you know for a fact that that's not how that works.
Okay.
You need to know the symbol of where you're going, not where
well,
you're
so that
coming
was my
from.
next question. My next question was, I want to investigate the cart to see what the runes were on.
Yeah, you can learn the runes on that cart.
What? Okay, I would love to do that, please.
You can now teleport back to that cart.
Oh hell yeah!
So those are. So that's okay. So the runes are.
That's got application.
That's
Yeah.
not.
That's not
That's not
terrible.
really how that
Dude,
works, though.
We
'cause
have
when,
a
when I have
flying
to.
ship and a teleporting cart that we can drop on something.
So,
Yeah.
Marleman, when you
This is the
memorize teleportation circle runes, it is to figure out where you're going, not where you're coming from.
No, I understand that. That's
So looking at the cart right now, you can see the teleportation circle that has been driven into this cart, which gives you the coordinates of this cart,
So we can go from here to any circle you've made, which is pretty cool.
or any circle you've memorized.
Yeah, that's neat.
okay.
So you don't have. So basically, the hour prep for teleportation circle when you use it
Yeah.
is to draw a start point where you are, and then teleport to a circle you already know.
Okay, so that's my question then. So when I'm making, so say I wanted to go to break, just as
Yep.
an example, right?
Yes,
And I knew that off the top
and,
of my head.
and you do have the break runes.
I do actually.
Yeah.
To me, that my thought there was not me writing down where I am now. You're clearly writing down where I'm going, right?
No, so you're right. So you write down where you are right now, or so go to the time in Jerselheim where you took down a bunch of runes in the book. That was so you knew how to get there, but it wasn't like you were staring at those runes. It was
okay. Yeah, no. So my question was basically like it seemed like I was writing the name of the street where I was going to on the ground, and so if I were to say make this cart, I would write break, or I would write wherever the fuck they're from.
Bad guy's lair.
Oh, yeah, thank you, bad guy lair.
No.
And then that's where that teleportation rune would lead me to.
No,
that's how I've been understanding this. Okay,
Sorry.
so I have this.
So it is
actually
actually
a little backwards.
Actually the back. Okay. It is actually the other side of that. So you make a temporary circle that is then destroyed when you leave, but you have to go someplace that you know where you're going.
Yeah, you draw a circle that says that you're like, I want to leave from here, and then you go in there and think bad guy lair, and if you know where that is, then you can go.
I understand completely now.
Because you basically have to create an arcane anchor to where you are now.
So
and it's what makes it leads to two things. One, it's why permanent teleportation circles take, I think, a month.
You have to do it for like 100 times or something crazy.
Yeah,
it's a really crazy spell.
Yeah, so that's why those take so long, is because you have to, like, rather than making a temporary anchor, you have to make a permanent anchor, which takes a while. This is even more complicated than that, because this is both
you have to
permanent
cast
anchor.
You have to cast it in the same location every day for 1 year.
That's what it is. So that's what makes these even more complicated, and why when you find them, they're like some of the most intense magic you've ever seen.
Yeah,
because it's not anchoring to a place; it is anchoring to an object.
Yeah,
which is not something you've ever like.
It's not something that would hold the same location in temporal time and space. I understand completely.
Correct.
Yes. No, I understood that much. So then let me ask this next question. Then are those carts permanent?
They seem permanent.
Like, are they going to obviously, like, if the cart were to be destroyed, you would lose it. But the question there is this going to wear off eventually?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
It's also why you can't put a teleportation circle on an airship.
That's a 30.
I mean, yeah. I'm just going to give you the full information. I'm just thinking of the right way to phrase it. Yes and no. They're not going to go away today, but the magic is because it has to change so much, it just expends its own energy a lot more quickly.
Yep.
So these probably last around a month and a half before the energy is fully expended.
I'm gonna somebody has the bag of holding, right?
Yeah.
Can you put that in the bag?
Heather.
It's a
no.
Can you? Is this thing like a Barney bag? Can you just like expand it to massive openings and just gape the thing open?
Number one, I don't think we can do that, and number two, I'm starting to think that we should not do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because of the idea that I was really in favor of stealing one of these things until it occurred to me that these guys theoretically can teleport back to it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that means I don't necessarily want that on our airship.
So
that's totally fair.
That being said,
I would like
we could gather all of the ones in the city, and I can put them in a demiplane.
All right, that's
a really good fun trap that you're setting up.
That's better thought out than me lighting them all on fire. So I'm with it.
So then should we take the time? We should. I don't know if this is something we want to do right now, but I would like to investigate this object further to try to learn a little more about this, so I could eventually try to do this sort of thing. So I could say put one on our airship, or something like that.
Make one for yourself.
Correct. Yes.
Not this exact one. Huh?
No, but one for us, so we could be like, we need to bounce, bop, and get out, or something.
Learn through deconstruction.
Or literally do what this is and make one and do what Craig was saying, which would be like, put it on a fucking drop pod, drop it off the ship, and next thing you know, we're there.
I love this. I want to do that.
Like, either way, the idea here is I would like to learn more about the teleportation circle methods that they have done here.
With your 30 Arcana, I'm gonna like accelerate this process. You know how to cast Teleportation Circle, and are just very familiar with that.
I've done it
magic in
very
general.
much, very often.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it doesn't take you long to like. You know the fundamentals of how this works. You had never thought to put it into practice in this way.
Nope.
So that is the new part. And you know that it's going to take significantly more advanced magic than you have access to right now.
Yeah.
But you don't need to spend a lot of time with it to figure out those fundamentals. Like you got that part.
Okay.
You've now seen a theory put into practice, which means you can make that theory possible.
Yeah, it was. Even Morgan was like, "Damn, that's a good idea." Like,
Stick his Trojan horse strategy.
yeah, like it's really something. Okay. Then the next question for the rest of the group, for me and Sai, I guess, would be like, your idea was to take all the carts and put them in one space.
I have a question before that. Are we giving up on the 75% of the population of Break that's fucking probably already dead?
Yes, and that they were never there to begin with.
That was the drow in disguise. That's the 75.
Well, I think what his point is where was the rest of the population that they replaced?
They just
It was never that big. Okay.
Can I just get a clarification? It's only drow that left.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're whatever.
There, you get the feeling.
Yeah.
It was just the drow that were there to do a lot of murder bounce.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They saw
you get
that-
the feeling that they saw that they were made.
Yeah.
That something has gone wrong, and then rather than execute the plan, they pull that.
They bowed.
They boogied.
I'm not sure.
I thought their plan was drow take a bunch of people somewhere else and then
No,
fucking
because
do
that
it.
would defeat the purpose
Right.
of killing them in that
Yeah,
place.
it needs to be here.
Right.
Yeah. I don't understand. I am a little curious why just seeing us meant the plan was made, but no.
They saw us, but not the Jarls.
But why would the Jarls be with us walking through town?
Because they know that you guys were friends and close, and the fact that you have now exited that building and there's no sign of
So
actually here I'll put it this way.
But like the
I'm
Jarls
not sure we were supposed to
out
make
during
it
the feast
out
day
of that
anyway.
building.
It's not like the Jarls were out and about, like milling with the people. Like so why-
Well, they are on feast days. So
but they weren't.
they were previously, yeah. When you met up with them, they were out on the street, and being greeted by the audience and being greeted by crowds. You brought them inside, and you have enough military people that Trev and Sai, both of your instincts, are probably correct, which is yes, you were never supposed to leave that building. You were a factor that they did not expect, and which means that those factors need to be removed. So yeah, the fact that you're walking out and they're not means that the plan has been
Things went wrong. Yeah.
Or potentially, like, you could even go so far as to say that it's, like, I wouldn't be surprised, or Trev wouldn't be surprised, if they were awaiting a signal and they had a safety valve, an escape valve of if you haven't received this signal after X amount of time, then retreat, regroup, etc.
yeah.
Because I don't know if any of these guys knew that we knew who they actually were until I swung my sword. So
Yeah.
That is also correct. So, with all that said, the city is in chaos. People are freaking out. There are people crowding onto the parade road and running towards the longhouse, looking for some amount of comfort. The people they are seeing there are you six.
all right.
I can send a message to. Wait, hold on. Did Ducky come with us?
No.
He's back in.
Ducky's with the army.
We set him specifically to the task of helping rebuild Hasper,
Right.
which is great because now we have another exactly the same task again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our signal for having the people come back from Hasper.
Fuck.
Yeah, I have to send a message to them.
Something bad just
Dice down.
What'd you
Dice
roll?
down.
Dice down. Dice down. It's fine.
Count it up.
No, I'll fix it. I'll fix that later. Not
Yeah,
put on dice on my desk. It's fine.
Yeah, it was. I was gonna send a message to either Ducky or one of the people in the military, like higher rank, like the heads of the different.
Yeah, you're gonna let the captains know.
Yeah, that was it. Couldn't think of the level. So that was the.
That was the plan there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, we need to find somebody here. We sent off random.
As you're having this conversation, 150 people are running up the road towards you all, looking for some level of comfort.
Okay.
Trev tells
Yeah.
Phaedra to go and reach out to the generals at Hasper and go find out what you can find out and see if they can come to us.
Yeah.
And then he's going to turn to address, or like then he's got to prepare himself to address the crowd as best he can.
Can I
Same.
amplify his voice?
I mean, I
Wonder
can
if I have
theoretically.
like a trick in my pocket for that.
We've got thaumaturgy, so
I was
yeah.
about to say one of you can. I'm not sure if it's
Yeah.
you, but
To kind of project a little bit.
yeah. Trev, you suddenly find your voice way louder
All right.
as you go to speak.
If we could-
I will ask you this question because
Yeah.
I know what kind of player you are. Do you want to roll your performance check now or after?
Either one's fine. Like, I guess theoretically now is probably good because,
I don't know if that will color what you want to say,
yeah,
knowing how well you do.
that's fine.
What'd you get?
Oh, I haven't actually done it yet, so I don't know.
Can you make
Okay.
sure that Sai is standing next to him because a bunch of fucking drow just appeared here and like, no offense, buddy. I
No,
love
yeah,
you.
I know.
Yeah. No. This is
We are-
definitely a calm the crowd together.
All of our stuff is, all of our military work is a duo
Collaborative
because we are a duo, as far as anybody knows.
coach.
We're co-generals or whatever. Well, that's not fantastic. It's a 15.
It's decent.
It's something.
I'm going to wait a beat because I know there's a thing that someone can do, so I'm just waiting to see if they
do
think
you-
of it.
Do you still have any of the inspiration I gave you?
That went away when you died.
Oh, right. Forgot about that. I had to be reminded about that then, too. Shit. Good.
Come on, I think I can give him stuff too. I'm sorry, I have to.
No.
No, the thing I was waiting for was the bardic inspiration that I know well we could do. I just
You
had
can
to
give me
wait
some
for him to
sick
remember.
background music.
Can I do this? Can I like do it post or during or what are we doing here?
You can do it whenever the fuck you want to.
You can do
Yeah,
some
right now.
background music
It
for
just
this speech.
happened. It just
All right.
happened.
So take your D6 of inspiration there, Trev.
Hey, how's a 21 sound?
Hey, that was a full D6. Hot
Word.
damn. All right. Okay, so you turn to face Sai with you. Phaedra, you not sneak away, but step away to go send your message.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that. Does anyone else want to still be standing there on the main road in front of a crowd?
Nope.
I mean,
Marlon, you're dipping too.
Oh, you're not going to give me a theme song?
Oh well. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I should. I'm your minstrel at this moment.
you're not going to
Okay.
give him the walkout.
I'm just gonna be behind him. Like,
Okay.
fuck it.
I know that some of you. I know that some of your characters are afraid of crowds of people and may be roguey and don't want to stay in front of a lot of people. So I wanted to double check.
I mean, the thing
Yeah.
is, I don't think they are noticing or coming for me.
That is fair.
Also accurate.
Like-
Yeah.
I think me being there or not there for the people is not really an issue. It's,
Fair.
so, yeah, I
Fair.
can be there. It's just I don't.
Okay.
want to.
So Trev, say what you're gonna say.
Alrighty then. What time of day is this? I don't even remember.
It is getting close to evening.
Alright. Alright, good evening to all of you, and I apologize for all of these disruptions to the feast day that you were so looking forward to. I know
The sudden, very loud drow voice just causes the people in the front of this mob to just slow, and the crowd starts to slow behind them.
For those of you who do not know me and are wondering why there is a very loud drow addressing you right now, I understand. My name is Trevathan, and I, along with Sai here, assisted in commanding the forces that went to reclaim the village of Hasper from the dragon. And you may know some of the folks who served with us, and they are all doing great. And well, hopefully we'll be seeing them soon as they come help us out. Unfortunately, nothing that I'm about to say right now is going to be easy for anybody to hear. So please just try to stay calm as best you can, because we are here to help.
You hear a shout from the crowd. just from an older woman that you could see somewhere in the middle. What's going on? Are we safe?
For now, you will be. There were many threats that were just playing out. You may have seen Drow appearing and disappearing over the last few minutes. A lot just disaster was narrowly averted right now. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no interest in doing that.
You hear another voice. Are we sure they're gone? How did they get in?
They used magic to get in. They used magic to get out. The way that they left tells me that they've given away their ability to come back, and we are going to do one of the steps of what we have planned is going to make sure of that. So for now, our focus is on rebuilding.
You can see more people begin to funnel into the crowd. People who may not have seen the Drow come in and out, but are in the area and are just following the booming voice. The crowd's probably up to 200, 250 people.
The most important thing that I need to tell you right now is that and this might not be that much of a surprise given what you just saw, but the female Jarl who was running this feast and the male Jarl who she was walking around with that you may have been speaking with earlier were both imposters.
There's a sudden gasp and a mild rabble begins to kick up in the center of the crowd.
They were in league with the Drow that you've seen, and they were attempting to simply bring disaster to break, but that disaster has at least for now been averted. They have left, and many of them are dead. So we have done what we can to remove that, to cut their plan off at the head, and now with that in the books, our hope is to start to rebuild some form of normalcy and break and bring back some, comfort and livability to this city, because you guys will need help with that. To that end, we're putting out the call to the forces that we left in Hasper to help rebuild after the dragons, takeover, and we're going to try to recall them here. So some people some people you don't know. They have really the battle against the dragon has brought them together. I'm very proud of where they are now, and their help is going to be instrumental in putting Break back together.
Where are the Jarls?
We're looking into that.
We are going to. We need to find the real Jarls. We need to find out what is exactly going on. I don't have every answer, but I want to give you every bit of information that I can about what we're going to do here, and we're going to, find out.
Crowd's probably up to 350, 400 people. Vader, what were you gonna do?
I was gonna say, as soon as I came back, I had calm emotions prepped in case the crowd, but he seems to be doing fine. So.
Yep.
This won't be easy, and things are going to be different. I don't know yet what break is going to look like a week from now, but if we all work together and we all stay calm, the future can be brighter than where we were just headed, for sure. I'm just going to look over at Sai and see if he has anything, because I'm running out of ideas.
So my voice isn't projecting, right?
No, but you
just
can
shout.
I'll just project myself.
I can come back and cast it on you as well, because I figure at this point I'd probably come back after sending the message. I shouldn't have taken that.
Yeah, I mean the message is essentially just begin the march.
I said.
I'm assuming the crowd's.
I said come
the
back.
crowd's looking good enough. So I'll just say, as of right now, we're reestablishing the Council of Nobles. We need all members who are active in that party to report to the Longhouse, and we're going to need the assistance of all citizens of Break. We're going to need all of you to cooperate, and we'll get through this hard time together.
Can I, while Sai is saying that, can I, whisper something to Trev that I kind of want him to project on?
Of course.
You should give them directions for what to do right now. If the best thing for them to do is go home, if the best thing for them to do is prepare for the soldiers to return, give them something that they do right now. Don't just stop speaking and leave.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, one side is finished. That basically is exactly the message. Is for now, return to your homes. Just do the best. The big feast might not have gone as you hoped, but just try to have a bit of a relaxing dinner of your own. Stay with your families. Stay safe. Be as comfortable as you can. Help is on the way.
You hear a cry go up that says, "I spent everything on this feast. We don't have food."
You have what? It's feast day. Take some fucking food.
Just gather from where you were eating. I can't imagine that the drow took the food when they left. We'll have to make sure that everybody is fed. And then as soon as we can get our forces back here, then we'll be able to. They'll have some more supplies in order. We'll put out the call, make sure that we get all the help we can. But for now, just go home, stay safe, keep track of your loved ones.
Okay. You begin to see the crowd begin to dissipate. There's no like wild raucous cheer or anything like that. Just like
not expecting that.
No, just sort of a sad kind of dispersal as people kind of head for their homes. There are no bodies to clean up, which is a nice change of pace for a lot of places.
Not even.
If we're going to have some people reporting to the longhouse, then perhaps there are some bodies to clean up.
So that was the part that I was going to get to. As you're finishing that speech, you do turn and like you all like take a deep breath. Like it seems to have gone well. The city seems to be calmer at the very least. And as you turn, you begin to see some guards up by the longhouse dragging 9 drow bodies out of the longhouse.
Wait, I thought there were only... Wait.
8 assassins?
I thought there weren't any guards in that longhouse besides the drow.
No. So the guards who were outside the longhouse, the gatekeepers, some of whom dispersed to go get the nobles, others of them are still there and are dragging the bodies out of the main...
Oh, see, I thought we were still right out in front of the longhouse.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are. You have not gone far. But there is the like main gates. Like there are the doors to the longhouse, and then there's like a 30-foot or so yard, basically.
Okay.
And then big gates. You're outside those big gates.
I was in the impression
turn
we
around,
weren't letting people in yet. So.
It was just the people behind you. Like some of them had gone in. There were like 3 of them that are just like bringing bodies out. And are stacking them.
Yeah,
they're not saying anything. They're not shouting. They're just like very quietly doing this.
Yeah, I'll go to the guys. Like, we want to keep the crowd calm. Can we put them back, please?
Oh, I'm gonna go ream them out. It's not gonna be pretty.
Okay, you turn around.
What the
and
hell
like,
are you doing? These are people. They're panicking them. Get them back inside.
No, we're sorry. Like,
Get them back inside.
Okay, sorry, sir. And like dragging these bodies back in.
No, shut the doors.
I mean, they're very heavy doors. You do need a hand.
That's fine.
But they got like 3 of them out. So they just drag those back in and just like stack them next to the door.
Did any of the citizens see it?
No. You guys were a perfectly fine wall that they did not see any of that.
Ugh.
Are any of the nobles coming forward at all?
As the crowd starts to disperse, you can see they're not well dressed anymore. They've definitely had a lot of their wealth stripped away, but clean cut, very like cultured folks are beginning to come up. And like are pushing their way through the dispersing crowd. You get the sense that this is probably members of the Council of Nobles at the very least. Mm-hmm. There are only 3 of them who end up arriving. They let you know that there used to be 5. One is currently missing in action, but you know where that person is. Mm-hmm. And one of them was also assigned to a military detail and never returned.
Oh boy.
So they're also gone. They introduced themselves as Crystal, who was... Oh, God, I have to pull up a sheet. Give me a second.
It's okay.
I should have expected this. Carrie's big book of NPCs. You have... there we go. You have Crystal, who is the former head of diplomacy. Whoopsie. You have Bartholomew. Nope, not Bartholomew. That's the wrong person. That's the Master of Smithing, but of a different sort. You have... Oh, God, what is your name? You have Clement, who is the head of commerce for the city previously. Similar in role to Ducky. Ducky was the head of information and, like... what's the right word? Like trade, whereas commerce in the city itself. So like taking care of all that. And then you have
he was in charge of international relations.
sort of international trade.
Yeah.
And then you have Rivers, who is the head of agriculture. Those are the nobles who are still around, and the three of them are just sort of.
What roles are missing besides Ducky? What role is missing besides Ducky?
War.
So yeah, we knew. We'll tell
Okay.
that Ducky went with the military to Habsburg. So if they weren't aware of that already, but
They were not. They're very excited to hear that. Excited is the wrong word. They are.
Yeah.
They take that in stride.
all right. Okay. Yeah.
Who's in charge of the guards right now?
I guess you.
Yeah.
All military matters are being handled by the Jarls. They let you know.
So you.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll take care of that.
Yeah.
I will go back out. Have those 3 idiot guards that I reamed a new one.
And the other guards have also arrived back. So now there's about 7 guardsmen there.
Okay. So I'll tell them to bring forward all any officers that still exist in the city, whether they're on duty or not, and have them come here as well to be briefed.
Well, one of them, let's say Clement, lets you know that all the military people have been sent south. We haven't had a real military person here in a long time. Actually, since you two left with the militia, was the closest the city got for a while.
Yep.
So this city's essentially defenseless.
Currently, yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Well, okay, so there are they let you know that like there are like guard captains and whatnot, and the city guard
That's
is
what I'm
still
asking for. Yeah,
but like there are no officers in the city guard for the most part. Like there are captains, and that's about it, who they can drum up. They're more like shift. They're more like shift commanders than.
That's all
else.
I need. That's all we need.
They go and get the captains for each of the gates.
That's fine.
And bring them along.
Just to establish order and security in the city.
Yep. Cool. They are also there.
Agriculture.
Who? Rivers?
Yeah. Is he the head of the agriculture?
Yeah.
All right. What's up, buddy?
The head of irrigation.
Everyone, our wisest member of our team.
What's your favorite plant?
Oh my god.
I don't interact much with the soil.
What the fuck?
Being familiar with Break, is there a lot of agriculture? I thought it was more of a city site.
There was before everything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So am I to understand? I'm going to put on my best Desai impression right now.
Okay.
No.
And I'm going to go. So am I to understand that you're to blame for the poor soil conditions on the outskirts of Break?
Oh my god, Aramel.
I'm so proud of you right now.
He like looks very offended and is like, we were
Not a good way to start, buddy.
the soil turned on us.
Don't tell me about
Sir.
the soil.
Why are you so
I am a friend of the soil.
Oh my god. Anyway.
He is taken aback. Just when he was resummoned to his position, he did not think he was going to get a dressing down on farming farming.
I'll be like, Aramel, we've got bigger things to worry about right now.
Fine. I'll see you, and I'm gonna do this to him.
He's just like very.
No matter how ridiculous it is, you are always a character, and I love it.
Holy crap, man!
Very well. Just completely, just like like looking at the other nobles of like, did that actually just happen to me? They're like, yeah, dude, that just happened to you. Like,
I'm just like pacing back and forth now behind.
And then just like
The
Okay.
attack dog.
okay.
Fantastic. I love every second of this. Anyway.
It's
Okay.
quite good.
All right. Is this everyone that we've got a couple members of the guard captains, the nobles?
Yes, the guard captains have been summoned off the walls and are here now as well.
Okay.
Personally, just for
All right. Are the dead bodies still in the longhouse?
Yep.
You left them like just okay. Hmm.
Yep. I want them to see like exactly what was going on.
Okay.
And you guys open the doors and there are the three that are stacked like off to the side and the others are kind of scattered throughout. And immediately they are just like shocked. Not
Is the
like
ice one still on the ice thing?
no, I will say, as you were talking like to the nobles and like doing introductions, you did hear a mild crash and thump behind you from inside. And when you do open the doors, you do find that body has fallen onto one of the long tables. It's still impaled. It's just it had melted enough to let it fall. So now it's just like lying like this across one of the tables, still with a giant icicle through the center of it.
Oh,
That is beautiful. That is.
Yep.
Fair enough.
I'm staring at it, tearing up.
Uh-huh.
It's beautiful.
No, I'm just going to do this to remind everybody. The one that you ice spiked is the one that you burned the shit out of, electrocuted, murdered you, and then you ice spiked it. You did terrible things to this man.
At this point,
He
it's
had it
unrecognizable. It does not look like anything you've ever seen. It's a piece of meat with a spike through it. At this point.
Basically.
God, it's awful.
Hey, he murdered you.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Anyway, you all gather in. They move to head upstairs, past the bodies.
No.
No. Well, we'll stop them before they do that. We're going to go up there, but
you need to be
you
prepped.
need to hear some shit.
Yeah.
They all kind of step back and wait. Do you signal for the doors to be closed, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Dorman. I say that like it's fast and quiet. It is very loud and takes like 20 seconds to close those fucking things, but still.
Yeah.
People
Okay.
closing the doors are all grunting. Just
They've done a lot more door opening and door closing than they usually do, so they're like tired.
Okay, how do we start this?
So, if I know that the male Jarl has been missing, for quite some time. If he do you have any of you ever known where he was? Do you know where he is now? Do you have any inkling as to where he might be? Because he is not accounted for, right?
No.
Yes, he's currently unaccounted for completely.
Yeah. Not counting the one you saw today.
Yes.
That was not
Clement speaks up and says, no, none of us were very privy to the goings-on of the Jarls. They kept us very sequestered since the male Jarl left, and we were only told that he had been taken ill and was being moved for his own health. We have heard nothing. Today was a surprise for all of us that he had returned healthy and quietly. That there was no celebration to his arrival. He was just here.
Mm-hmm.
When you say moved for his health, is there somewhere they would go for something like that you're aware of? Some place people in break maybe go for healing?
No. Traditionally, we had some of the finest healers in the city, but since the war started and the situation began down south, all of them were conscripted away and taken.
Okay.
Okay. Given that, that takes off one of the top section of my plan, but So the most important thing to know right now is that the female Jarl is dead. She has been murdered by the individual who was posing as her for quite some time. She has been dead for a while. Now, with the male Jarl absent and the female Jarl dead, from what I gather from speaking with Scythe, Break finds itself in a bit of an unprecedented situation.
The panic that is in the eyes of these 4 individuals plus guard captains is palpable.
So what we are here to do, I understand that this is a massive undertaking, but what we must do for the sake of the city, for the sake of its residents, is to establish an interim government, an interim set of leadership where you, as a council, can provide for these people what they need with the help of the militia who is returning and any other help we can get that we can have our various allies provide you to make sure that these people are safe. In an event that the male Jarl returns, and it is actually him, then perhaps some sort of exchange of power. He can be, obviously, like, if given the divine right of his family or the cultures and customs of Break, he can obviously be worked into the plan and everything can be taken care of. But for now, your people need you.
Well, at this point, Crystal kind of speaks up and says, well, there are... We will certainly try. We can certainly do that and create a government and create stability, especially with, as you say, the militia returning. We can use some fine military folk to help quell things and to bring a sense of comfort. But I feel like you should know, and I suppose, and she kind of looks at the other two and says, I suppose all secrets are now out. The Jarl, the male Jarl, we refer to him as Duncan, was not of the bloodline. He was told that as a child to continue things, but he was not blessed of the Allhammer.
Wait.
Ham.
Side note. So in the journals we found, he did say, right, that he certainly thought he was. He thought he was the bloodline. He said that in his journal.
Yeah.
I didn't look through the whole thing, I think, for the female Jarls, but did hers indicate anything of that?
It indicated that she was not. She was told it was not.
So explain to me how this of the bloodline, not of the bloodline secret keeping thing works.
So the Council of Nobles was always trusted with these secrets, that the bloodline must continue, but it can't continue here in the city. It's too dangerous. The Blessed of the Allfather here in a prominent role, that would be ridiculous. So they were sent away. They were kept away from the city.
Where are they?
We don't know.
That seems like not a great plan.
Yeah.
Yes, but we were always told, and you could tell like some zealotry is starting to creep in. We were always told that upon need, the Blessed of the Allfather would return, and return to the city, and the bloodline would be restored in Break's greatest time of need.
Okay, enough. Whose plan was this?
It's generations past.
Is there any record of where this started? Like, who would have first said we need to move them out of the city?
Those would probably in the Lost Archives.
Where is that?
If they're lost, I'm assuming we don't know.
Well, no, the archives themselves aren't lost. It is knowledge of how to access them has been lost.
Well, they're down a really long flight of stairs in a cave, I assume.
Probably.
Yeah. Yes, they're connected to the tomb of the fallen Jarl.
We'll get back to all that later. Anyway, so anyway, none of this is like, honestly, if the male Jarl somehow returns, whether he is blessed or not, he, pardon my disrespect, would be a very useful, at least a very helpful figurehead to the people. So if he is to return, that would be fantastic because the people need all the goodwill they can get. However, for now, what we need is just to focus on what we can get what you guys are able to do with the resources you have and what resources you need that we can try to drum up for you.
Yeah.
Well, we could probably use the Jarls, or I guess not the Jarl, had us cut off all communication to previous allies. We could probably use some help.
We can
working as diplomats.
Yes, breaking that whole blockade, diplomatic blockade is absolutely one of the most important priorities.
About first off, magic users. We need some magic users back here. Because
what's up with that?
We don't know. That was a call made. Originally, it was said that all magic users need to give their rights to the city and join up with the force, that they were needed down south.
Right.
But then they started rounding up the clerics. They started rounding up even children who showed any amount of magical ability.
So that brings me to my next point. I feel like we need to get the people back from the south and figure out what the fuck was going on down there.
I agree. That is at least in my opinion what we as a group, a group of people with cool swords and stuff, should be going to do while this council begins their work on rebuilding.
But I think we need magic users here before we leave, because we need people who can true sight draft.
I can send some messages to some of the representatives of Drisselheim and Lathander and ask if they'd be willing to assist. We can explain the situation to them.
Isn't the Drisselheim army ready to come here?
They are now.
They were marshaled, but you told them not to.
Yeah,
with good reason. With good reason.
It was bad at the time,
right? But they're probably ready now. Like, let's send
again.
them.
Yeah,
they weren't ready. It was that politically, it would have been very bad. But
now their help and their supplies and that kind of stuff is a huge step.
Yeah.
So
let's get them here. Let's get our militia here.
Yeah, I can send some word to both of those areas and see if they'd be willing to assist with, recovery efforts, helping rebuild the city, helping defend the city.
And I know that you guys might have gotten off on the wrong foot. Looks at Aramil and the farming chief, but our druid here absolutely knows his way around the wonders of nature, and if you need any assistance bringing life back out of the soils around Break after everything that has happened to them, I'm certain he will have some wisdom to offer.
Well, we could certainly use some help. It's the land around here. Well, granted, he also kind of like gestures at like winter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, granted, it is also a bad time. But are you a druid, good sir? I understand you have different understandings of our farming practices, but
I'm just gonna turn into an animal real quick, a very small one, some type of squirrel or something maybe.
Great.
And then turn back into an elf.
Great. You do so. He looks at you and goes, I'm going to take that as a yes, even though just a yes answer spoken verbally would have been totally fine as well.
Yes, would have sufficed.
You destroyed the soil.
The soil was destroyed, not by. Also, you're squeaking at him.
No, he turned back.
He's turned back. Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. He goes, we can agree to disagree on the state of the breaking soil in either way. However, I have heard that those of nature magic have the ability to enrich plant life again. If you can do so, we would, as a city, greatly appreciate it.
Let's see what I can do.
We're
going to talk about tending the land, though.
Oh my god.
Very, very well. Very well.
Yes.
Sort of sits back down in a huff, put his pride aside to ask for help, and then was just immediately rebuffed.
No, I'll help. But you better treat the land right.
Very well. Sort of sits with his hands folded.
I'll probably do that whenever we go to leave. I'll do stuff. I'll figure something out.
Fair enough.
We should. The guard captain's kind of standing. We should probably get back to the gates.
Yes.
And watch for incursions.
Yes,
Will-
you absolutely should.
I would
Please,
also suggest like just have kind of the soldiers kind of do rounds, check in on folks, trying to keep them calm.
we can do what we can. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have someone? I don't think we need like a ton of people, unless everyone wanted to. But I would like to find those records.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
again, I don't know if we have time for everyone to just go, or if just some of us go.
I'll definitely go.
Hi, it's me, the DM, telling you that this game is technically called Dungeons and Dragons, and this looks like a dungeon.
And we just had a dragon a bit ago.
And we
It
did
works
just have a
great.
dragon. At this point, it's dragons and dungeons.
Yeah.
All right. So if we've divided up kind of like what needs to be done by the noble people, then maybe we should all go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if we can put out word to any of our allies to send any supplies, people, or anything to here, then while that is all happening, all we can do is wait. So,
Yeah.
trying to explore some archives seems reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah.
and it's going to take, the same amount of time that it took
Yeah,
the
it's gonna take a
motion of
while.
March. So they're going to be about 3 to 4 days out.
We could also ask them. Wait, is the teleportation circle here still functional? Because that
Yeah.
was the original plan for them to send like food and stuff.
Yeah, they could probably still do that.
So I'll also ask them if they can send some emergency provisions.
Yeah.
Haste.
Lathander does not have. When you get in touch with Vondra, they offer spellcasters
Mhm.
to come in and assist, but they don't have a lot of supplies. They're still trying to get up. They're doing well, especially with their new trade out to the islands, but probably not a lot to spare.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Jerselheim more than happy to send soldiers, supplies, anything that is required.
All right. I'll let a couple of the guard captains know, like whoever's in charge of because when we popped in, there were people there like protecting the circle or like
Yep.
near it. Or I'll
And there still
inform,
are.
yeah, I'll inform them that that's coming and to divvy that out to the townspeople when it arrives. And
Okay. Through all of this, it is getting late in the evening. You guys probably will need to look into a long rest, especially as your sorcerer's eyes start to like roll back in his head.
yeah,
But you're able to do that. The Jerselheim is actually able to get boxes of supplies out to you guys that evening, so they're dispersed out to homes. The level of appreciation is incredible. People are incredibly happy to receive those goods. And where are you guys choosing to stay the evening? Are you
Here.
Chicken Man's house.
Go to my place. It's
Yeah.
my house, and he just stays there.
It's also his house.
And he comes through a window.
squatters' rights? Thank you.
Jeez.
Roommate, come on.
Yeah.
So you guys all head back to Sai's house. You can see some people kind of watching you as you pass with great appreciation. But everyone seems also afraid to leave their homes right now. So you settle in.
Yeah.
You settle into sleep. City seems quiet that evening, and you're all pretty exhausted, so no need to have anyone on guard or anything like that. I am going to do 3 things while you guys are long resting before we end. We're going to start with Marleman, because this is the fastest and easiest. As you settle into sleep and kind of try and put a lot of the day behind you, you actually receive a message. And you've seen message cast before, you've just never received one. So this is a little bit new to you. And it says, you recognize the voice immediately, which is good. I learned a new spell.
Aww.
It's really exciting because now I can talk to you wherever you are. I love you. I hope you're okay. Talk soon. Gone.
Aww.
That's adorable. That's
That is
adorable.
pretty cute.
You can reply.
I think the thing that makes the most sense in this current situation is absolutely like so proud. Love you too.
I everything's fine, and I definitely
didn't die.
Yeah, no, yeah. Then it's gonna be like everything's fine. This is gonna be really funny, but it's gonna be awful, but it's gonna be funny. But I, and then the message stops because I fell asleep.
Okay.
The rest of the message is just Z's.
Yeah.
Snores.
Interesting question. If
Yeah.
you get a message while you're asleep or unconscious, do you have like a call waiting thing?
Yeah, where's my
Sort of.
voicemail? Yeah.
Sort
Will
of.
you wake up with a "What's wrong? What's going on?" Why are you-"
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or follow-up question. Does the message actually finish sending when I fall asleep, or does it continue until I finish? Like,
No.
if I say something in my sleep, like
Off after bed.
It cuts. You don't
Your
have to.
thumb
use
it's like,
accidentally
but I,
Yeah.
it's like, but I chicken wings, and then it's like,
Basically.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
It's like, but I butts.
yeah.
Believe me.
Or just the sound of snore.
Yeah.
Just
The next thing I want to do is Trev and Phaedra. So Phaedra, you have trouble sleeping and spend a decent amount of time that evening after everyone else is kind of settled in, sitting by the fire, trying to fight off some chill. And you hear Trev approaching behind you. He's not being particularly stealthy, but
I know. I've been expecting this conversation.
okay.
You're muted.
You're muted.
All right.
Sorry.
So we got to talk. We got to. I understand. I appreciate what you're like a lot. Obviously, you've done a lot for us. And I know I get it. I get where you're coming from. But in general, a thing that I really need from you is to just keep your head out of the clouds a little bit. Like, there's a lot on the line here, and I understand. And like, obviously, stuff with your brother is a big deal. But like, running up into that situation only to then run immediately back down, and while you were gone, one of my best friends was killed more than once, is like, we can't like, things are, the stakes are high. We cannot afford that. And like, when you get caught up in, there's like, we're already dealing with a multi-dimensional conspiracy theory, and like adding all these other layers, like at a certain point, just chill, man. Just breathe. Because we are all in this together, but sometimes we just got to deal with what's in front of us. But other than that, I do appreciate it. I appreciate you bringing Marlowe back to life. Just be careful, please.
I walk away. I don't even talk to him. I'm pissed off.
That's fine.
Before I go, I'm just like, yeah, I get it. But I made a decision, and I am also upset that Marleman died. I honestly thought that it was the better decision, because if something had happened to you also, Orsai, I didn't like that it was only the two of you up there with them.
From a military perspective, Cyanide decision was made by us. The decision that killed Marleman was made for him. Be careful. Thank you. Trev is gonna be a shithead about this. He does not care. There are things that are important to him, and he is going to get them across.
Yeah. I think Phaedra's also gonna, because she's just not happy about this, she is going to leave the home, the residence, and just gonna go outside to the airship.
Okay, you leave the city totally. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go to the airship. I'm gonna sit down.
Okay.
And I'm gonna commune.
Okay.
And scry.
Okay. Which one do you want to do first?
I want to commune first.
Okay. What does commune allow you?
3 yes or no questions with my god. Hold on, let me double check any sort of funky things here.
And you have a 5th level still?
Let's see. Yes, I do.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, I didn't. I had a bunch of stuff saved, but then other people did some of the healings, and I used a lower spell for myself. So.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Yeah.
What questions would you like?
Let's see. Is the male Jarl Duncan? I'm going to specify as much as I can with who it is. Still alive?
Yes.
Okay. Is he being held against his will?
Yes.
Is he on this plane of existence?
Yes.
Okay.
And as you feel the magic fade, for a second, you go to let it go, and then suddenly it strengthens itself, like Celestian is grabbing hold of the connection, and you feel yourself yanked. And you find yourself standing in a starfield over a set of crashing waves. And before you is a foreign but familiar figure. It's rare that you see Celestian. He's much more of a presence as opposed to like a figure.
Yeah, I think it's very, very rare if I've ever seen him before.
Yeah. But now you see him in a form that you recognize, but like it's still weird to you, of a tall, extraordinarily tall, hooded form with rippling purple robes and a generous smile underneath, but also eyes that can only be described as wandering, of of here and there, of unfocused. And he looks upon you and says, "My lamb, do not forget. Knowledge comes in all forms. Don't lose what you've learned. Please." And then you feel yourself return.
Oh, thank God I was by myself. She just kind of sits and is just like, okay. Okay. And then technical question. I had the ring of anti-scrying or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yep. Ring of Shrouds.
Can I scry while using that?
No. You've tried this before.
Okay, I could not remember if I was able to do this.
Yeah, you've tried this before. It's a wall on both sides. It cuts you off, but it also fully protects you. It's the only way to like fully protect you is to not leave holes.
Okay.
So you can remove it to.
I'm thinking about it like. Oh no, I have to think. This is hard. Because I could do one of two things for scrying, and I'm not sure which is the better option here. I think I want to see where my brother is.
Okay. Gotta have to remind myself of something real quick.
Yeah. It's what she would want to do right
now. So he has to make a what kind of save?
Hang on. I think it's wisdom, but I'll double check.
Yeah.
Wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target and the sort of physical connection you have to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I gotta pull up Drossel's sheet.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna tell you what the modifiers are on that. It's not important to you.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Okay. And it's a wisdom save.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 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 You feel the connection to the magic. And now firmly settling in yourself that this is who you were afraid it was.
Yeah.
You're able to do this, and you put the magic out there, and there is a you feel the connection hit, and you know that it is working, and you can see him. He is standing on a rocky platform. It looks like, talking to someone, though you can't see who from this perspective. What he is saying is, we're close. We're closer than we've ever been, and I'm so thrilled. She knows. She knows now. She knows where I am, and she can come and find me. My mistress, this is the most closest we've been, and I'm so excited. At this point, you feel the turn as you move, and you realize that this rocky outcropping is not actually attached to anything. He seems to be floating on this piece of land on rock before a vast darkness that is intercut sometimes by white lines in an almost large grid-like pattern. And as you look, you realize that you're not looking into darkness. You're looking into a swirling darkness, some sort of shape or figure. And you realize that wherever he is, she is there too. He is with her. And you realize that you're looking into whatever she is right now. You see no face, you see no features, just this swirling darkness. And he is excited. He is ecstatic. And you don't hear a voice, but you do hear a sound that he seems to take as a voice, as he responds with, "We will. Soon. Sooner than I even thought. I'm off to the next plane. I'll meet with you there. Your gifts. Your gifts." And as he turns and activates the cloak around him, this shimmering blue cloak that you got a brief look at before, but now can see kind of in full, you notice that your perspective doesn't turn. He is now facing you, and you can see his face for the first time here as he grins and says, "I'll see you soon, sister." And it breaks.
Phaedra immediately puts the scrying ring back on.
Okay.
The anti-scrying ring back on, just to be yeah, just goes to sleep on the ship.
Okay. We'll pick up from there next time.
Ugh.
Who's excited for some real dungeon crawling in this campaign of Dungeons & Dragons?
Wait, is that what we're supposed to do in this game? What the
I
hell?
know.
That's not what I signed up for.
We're playing the literal game of Dungeons.
Yeah, Dragons and Dungeons.
Or Dragons then
Dragon
Dungeons.
in a dungeon, then a dungeon with potentially a dragon?
You don't know that part yet.
A dungeon inside of a dragon?
The dragon potential is there.
Yeah.
There's always dragon potential.
All right.
Yeah, DP is
There's always
Yes, DP is
the
high.
potential of the
The
dragon.
potential is high in that dungeon, in those archives. All right. We'll see you guys.
Peace.
Oh no, Gary.
Gary left and then
It's still
left it
The stream's
live.
still on.
Oh, really? That's amazing. Who's in charge now?